to A Wanderlust for Life. I'm Jessica, and this is an expat series on life in Amsterdam, but a lot of the tips will help you no matter where you are moving around the world. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what I wish I would have known and the best tips for you when you want to move to the Netherlands. So let's just dive right in, because the first one is so important, will save you so much time after you move, and people seem to forget about it or just don't know about it. A lot of your documents for the visa process or a passport process or anything like that will need an apostille. It's kind of a step up from a notary. It's basically verifying that the document is authentic and it's accepted internationally. I think it has something to do with The Hague. Go figure. But that is going to save you so much time, because people will come here, have their immigration appointment, and then be told, okay, that's great that you have your documents, but you forgot to get the apostille. They tend to give you about 6 months to do it, but because this has to be done in the US, well, if you're American, obviously, it's such a pain in the butt. And I know so many people who've gone through this process. So go ahead and get it done before you leave. Another thing to do is join all of the Facebook groups. Seriously, find an expat group where you're moving to. So I'm in a bunch of expats and Amsterdam groups. Also, if a company is moving you and your partner, find the Facebook group for that company or the partners group. When we worked at booking.com, I was in one, and now there's a new one for us. So it's really nice, because then it's kind of a group that's in the same situation as you, that understands what you're going through. And that is so nice. Just ask a bunch of questions before you come, and people are really willing to help, because a lot of us have been there before and we know how challenging it is to start in a new city. So don't hesitate to ask questions, find all the groups, and it'll also help you make friends online before you move. So once you're here, you have offline friends, which is so nice, because we moved knowing one person, and that one person was a friend from high school. So I hadn't seen her since high school. I won't say how long that was, but that was really nice to even know one person. Otherwise, it was very, very lonely. So go ahead and do that. And if you want more tips on how to make friends as an expat, I've done a full video on it with tons of ideas. I'll leave it in the description below, because I guarantee you have not thought of some of these. Learn to cycle. If you don't already know how to ride a bike, go ahead and take care of that before you move here. Cycling in Amsterdam is like driving a car. You're on a bike road, basically. There are rules, there are customs, and you want to know what you're doing, because during rush hour, it can get quite crowded, and you want to start somewhere so you can work up to cycling during rush hour. But until then, don't worry, there's plenty of calm, quiet spots that you can practice and kind of see how other people are doing it. But it's just nice to go ahead and get it done before you move here, because once you're here, everything else is changing too. Learning where to buy anything is so frustrating. I remember when I moved here and I was like, where's the drugstore? I don't know where to get Band-Aids or whatever. And that was really tough. So I would just do your research ahead of time. You can use Google. In Google Maps, you may or may not know this, I don't know, but you can just type in drugstore, and then it'll show you. Look up the logos, look up the signage, so that when you're walking around and kind of getting your bearings in your new city, you can kind of look out for how many there are, how big they are, what they stock, and things like that. You'll also want to learn where to buy a bike, because a lot of bikes are stolen here. You may know that, you may not know that, but yes, a lot of bikes are stolen here. And it's good to know where to buy a bike to where it's likely not stolen. So of course you can buy new bikes. There are used bike sales places as well. So just ask around, maybe in one of those Facebook groups that you joined. Getting a bank account can be quite frustrating. Luckily, there are quite a few new banks or newer banks here in the Netherlands. You have the big ones that everybody knows, which is AB and AMRO, ING, Rabobank. It's not Rob a bank, Rabobank, and Bunk. So you'll have to do your research to see what fits your needs. Getting a bank account involves being registered. There's a bunch of different things to deal with that. That's not what this video is about. But knowing that there are different banks and that you have options is really good to know, so that you can do your research ahead of time. Just look it all up before you get here, so that you have a bit of an idea of what you're looking for and what you need from a bank. I wish we had known where to find good food. This It's not a big city, but it's big enough to where there are tons of options and you don't want to waste money by eating bad food. I know this is just ridiculous. I mean, don't at me. But like knowing where to eat I think is so important. Where to find the best kind of food. And this again is where those expat groups come into play, because there are gonna be people from every different country. So if you're craving Italian, ask the Italians where the best pizza is or where the best pasta is or whatever, and just make a note in Google Maps, go ahead and star it so you know where to go. Make a list of places that you wanna try when you move here. You're not gonna eat out all the time because it's not vacation. Learn that the hard way. Get some ideas so that when it's time to go out, this might just be my personality because I don't like to do last minute decisions. So I like to kind of have a list to choose from. So if you're like me, this tip will help you out. That way you're not eating at the tourist restaurants that have this, I don't know, ability to draw you in, even though you're like, well, why should I go there? I don't know if it's gonna be any good, even with reviews, because reviews in different places, you have locals reviewing and you have visitors reviewing, and it's hard to tell the difference in the review itself. So go ahead and do your research ahead of time to find some of the best places. Also, Reddit is a perfect platform to ask those kinds of questions. Learn some basic Dutch. Seriously, get your Rosetta Stone, get your memorized, get your whatever, and learn your numbers. Definitely learn your numbers. Hello, goodbye, thank you, please, all of that. Just know the very basics. And then I would encourage you to learn things like name, surname, address, things like that. Be able to say your address, be able to say your phone number in Dutch. I think that's the very minimum that you should know when you move here. We got very good at restaurant Dutch very quickly. Yes, pretty much everybody speaks English, but the numbers and stuff I think are important to know because you'll hear announcements. You kind of want an idea, like if you're on the right train or whatever. Yeah, so work on that before you get here. Bring your rain gear, seriously. So we don't use umbrellas quite as much here because when it's raining, it can be quite windy as well. If you walk around the city in a rainstorm, you'll just see umbrellas in the trash cans everywhere. It's quite crazy. I actually was on my way somewhere and saw a guy next to a canal. I saw the wind take his umbrella and place it lightly in the canal upside down. Not even kidding. And then slowly sink. Just get your rain boots, bring your rain jacket, just be ready because, I mean, you can also buy it here, obviously, but just know that you will need it. You don't have air conditioning in most places, so that's something to just keep in mind. So when you move here, you might want to buy a fan if you don't like hot temperatures, but that's really not that big of a deal. You may need to take vitamin D through the winter and possibly through the rest of the year because we get little sunlight and it's gloomy so often and stuff like that. That's just something that you might want to know about. So research brands ahead of time if that's something that you want to be pretty picky about so that you will know exactly what to take here. Now, I don't know if this didn't exist when I was in the US because I think it does now, but grocery delivery is a big thing here in Amsterdam. I don't even know how many apps I have on my phone. Let's see, Albert Heijn, Jumbo, Picnic, Crisp. I feel like there's another one. Plus, there are some that aren't apps, but they're websites that we also use. So there's quite a few. If you don't like going grocery shopping, like probably most of the population, this is a very viable option for you. I do encourage you to go ahead and have the apps. And if there's any that involve a wait list, Picnic involves a wait list, and if you want a zero waste kind of bulk dry goods option, you can have that with Peter Pots, but there's a wait list. So go ahead and get on these wait lists as soon as you have your address because it will be done by address. And if you want to save money, Groupon is used here. There are a couple other websites. If you live in Amsterdam and you know of others, please leave them in the comments below for other people as well as me. I love to save money. Also, Too Good To Go. It is not just an Amsterdam thing. I don't know if it's in the US, but I know it's in the UK. And that app will show you where there's kind of leftover food at restaurants, hotels, sometimes grocery stores where you can get a big discount and you just go and you pay a certain amount and you get like so much food. And there are options like that. So I'm telling you because even though I don't have all of the things listed out, you know these are options. It is an expensive city to live in, so Do your research on different things, ask questions when you need to, not just me. I mean, you can leave your questions down below, but go into the expat group so you can get more people with more experience in different parts of the city, in different situations, who can help answer your questions for you. If you like these videos and you want more expat advice, leave me a question down below if you would like to see as a video. And if you like this video, please give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, because there's like 90% of y'all that are not subscribed but watch my videos, which is just crazy. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is out and you don't have to go searching for it. It just tells you. All right, thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.